Hello, my friends. Hola, mis amigos. Good morning, buenos días, good afternoon, buenas tardes. Maybe you're watching this at night. That would be buenas noches, good night. That's a fun one to say at night when you're getting ready for bed. Buenas noches. Today, I am really excited. We're going to read a couple of different books. And they have the same characters, but we're going to hear the story from two different perspectives. Because sometimes you hear a story, well, something I always say is there's always at least two sides to every story. So today we are going to learn about, or we're going to hear one of the most classic fairy tales, which is the story of the Three Little Pigs. I have this big book of fairy tales, and it has lots and lots of fairy tales in it. The one we're going to read is the Three Little Pigs, but it also has Beauty and the Beast, Hansel and Gretel, Little Red Riding Hood, Jack and the Beanstalk. Hey, Harper. So I'm excited to read this to you. So we're going to read the Three Little Pigs, and then we're going to read the true story of the Three Little Pigs, and it is told from the wolf's perspective. So I'm excited to do that with you. So today I figured we could do a little bit of movement while we listen to the story. So there are going to be some times in the story where you're going to do some action with it just to get us up and moving around. Over here in Asheville, it is a rainy day. I got my cozy sweater on and just trying to do a little bit of movement here in the house. Moms and dads out there, I'm going to keep doing this live until Friday, and then it's going to move probably not towards an everyday thing, but if you subscribe to Miss B's Audio Reads YouTube channel, I will keep adding there. I'll post it here on Facebook as well afterwards, but I will still try to do a couple Miss B's audio reads each week, but it will probably not be an everyday thing, just as, life happens. But I would still love to hang out with all you boys and girls out there. So moms and dads, I would subscribe to the YouTube channel. Again, you can keep telling your friends. And of course, boys and girls, you can come back and watch some of your favorite stories. They're all here, and they're all up on YouTube also. So again, that's Miss B's Audio Reads on YouTube. Let's get started, shall we? Enough chit-chat, Miss B. So you might have heard this story. People retell stories all the time. So you might have heard this one a little bit different, but they all kind of have the same general idea. Once upon a time, there lived a mother pig who had 3 children. At first, they were a happy family, but every day the 3 little pigs grew bigger and noisier. The first pig beat a drum all day long. Take out your drumsticks. Ready? Beat that drum. Nice and loud. The second little pig played a recorder. All right, that's the recorder. Go ahead, play a recorder. And the third little pig strummed a guitar. Oh, play that beautiful music, strum that guitar. They only stopped to watch rock videos on television. One day, Mother Pig couldn't stand the noise any longer. "This house is too small for all of us," she said. "You must go and find your homes of your own. Then you can make as much noise as you'd like." So the 3 little pigs kissed their mother goodbye. Go ahead, blow a kiss. Or go kiss your mom if she's close by. And they set off into the world. After the pigs had walked for a long time, the first little pig started to feel rather tired. Go ahead, just stretch. Oh, it's tired. Just then, a farmer went by with a cartload of straw. "Excuse me, sir," said the first little pig. "That straw looks light enough and soft enough for me to build myself a house. May I have some?" "Help yourself," replied the man. So the little pig set to work to build himself a home. He worked all day, making himself a fine straw house with a fine thatched roof. Soon, he finished his house and he moved in. Go ahead, boys and girls, go ahead and get that pitchfork. Build the house of straw. And then he thatched the roof. That means he sewed it together. Can you sew it together? Oh, and put it on the roof. Oh, yeah. Let me show you that picture. The first little pig settled down in his chair, switched on his favorite music, and got ready to play his drum. Everybody get ready. Just then, he got a terrible shock. A face appeared at the window. It was a big bad wolf who had been watching him all along. Can you give me your best big bad wolf face? He'll make a tasty meal, said the wolf, mumbled to himself. Then he called out. You know the words, can you say it? Little pig, let me come in. No, squealed the first little pig. Not by the hairs on my chinny chin chin. I will not let you in. Then, said the big bad wolf, I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down. Are you ready? Let's huff and puff and blow the house down. Man, you got a lot of air pipe there. All right, and sure enough, the wolf gave a huff, and he gave a puff, and he blew the house of straw right down. The little pig and all his belongings were tossed high into the air before landing with a thump on the ground. Now I'll have you for dinner, little pig, cried the wolf. No, you won't, the little pig squealed, and even before the straw had settled, he was off as fast as his little legs could carry him. Go ahead, stand up, do a little run in place, Where do you think he's going? Said the big bad wolf. He chuckled to himself and he gnashed his teeth. I think I smell bacon. Delicious. Meanwhile, the second little pig had come across a woodcutter chopping wood in the forest. Get out your axes, boys and girls. Ooh, yeah. Excuse me, sir, said the second pig. That wood looks light enough and smooth enough for me to build a house for myself. Will you be so kind as to give me some? Certainly, said the man. So the second pig set to work to make himself a home. He worked hard, and soon he had built a fine wooden house with a fine wooden roof. He found that he even had enough wood left over to make himself a comfortable bed. And a chair, too. Just as he finished his house, his little brother came running up, down, all the way all out of breath. Beware, the big bad wolf, cried the first little pig. The two little pigs were very frightened. Soon the wolf came along and he shouted, give me your best wolf face. Little pigs, let me come in. No, cried the terrible pigs. Not by the hairs on our chinny chins. We will not let you in. We'll see about that, growled the big bad wolf. You ready? We're gonna huff. I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down. Go ahead, blow the house down. And the wolf gave a little huff, and he gave a little puff, and he did blow that house down. The two little pigs and their belongings were tossed into the air before landing on the ground with a crash. Quick, let's get out before the wolf has us both for dinner, squealed the two little pigs, and they ran as fast as their short legs could carry them. Everybody stand up. Go ahead. Run. Run in place, as fast as you can. Where do you think they're going? The mean old wolf laughed to himself. Then he skipped after the pigs. Go ahead, skip. Whistling a happy tune, if you can whistle. And what did he say? Bacon, sausages, and ham. I'm ready for dinner, yes I am, sang the wolf. In the meantime, the third little pig had met a builder with a wheelbarrow full of bricks. Please, sir, the third little pig said politely, those bricks look strong enough and smooth enough for me to build myself a house. Would you be so kind as to let me have some? Of course, said the man. The third little pig worked hard all day making his home. He built himself a fine, strong house of bricks with a fine fireplace, a fine chimney, and a strong tiled roof. He worked so fast that he finished his house long before sunset and even had time to bake a batch of cupcakes. Ooh! Just then, along came his little brothers. Let's go ahead and mix a batch of cupcakes. Ready? Let's put all the ingredients in. We got a big bowl. What do we need? We need some sugar. We need maybe some vanilla. And go ahead and mix it around. Now let's put them in the cupcake pan. Okay, and then we're gonna put them in the oven. Ooh. Close the oven. Now we relax. Beware the big bad wolf, they cried. I'm not scared of him, replied the little pig. The third pig calmly invited his frightened little brothers in. They sat down with a glass of milk and a big plate of iced cupcakes. How lovely. That's a good brother right there. Just as the third little pig took a bite, the hungry wolf came looking through the window. Give me your hungry wolf face. Little pigs, let me come in, he yelled. But the third pig shouted, Go away, you silly old wolf. His brothers looked at him in amazement. Whatever shall we do? The wolf's stomach was rumbling, and he was very hungry. And he was angry, too. He gave a huff and a puff. Ready? And blow. He didn't blow the house down. Let's give a bigger huff and a bigger puff. Blow. But he still couldn't blow the house down. The pigs laughed. They watched through the window as the wolf's cheeks turned redder and redder. Now he was very hungry and very angry indeed. What kind of face do you make when you're mad? What kind of face do you make when you're hungry? Probably the same face, right? The big bad wolf grew angrier and angrier. He was determined to eat the little pig one way or the other. Fat pork chops with dumpling stew, I'm gonna get my paws on you, chanted the wolf. Then he saw the big, wide open chimney on top of the little brick house. And he had an idea. What do you think's he gonna do? He started to climb up the strong brick wall of the third little pig's house. Then he scrambled up the strong tiled roof and he danced towards the chimney. Go ahead, do a little dance like the wolf toward the chimney. The three little pigs looked up at the ceiling as they heard the wolf crashing above the roof. I will get my dinner somehow, he said, chuckling to himself as he looked down the chimney into the fireplace. Hi, Andrea. Hi, Javi. The first two pigs clung to each other, terrified. But the third little pig guessed what the wolf's plan was, and he said to his brothers, right, this is the calm. He's the three little pig. He's calm. Quick! Put more wood on the fire. The three pigs rushed about to make the biggest roaring fire they could. They put all the wood that was left from making the windows and the doors of the third little pig's house, but the fire wasn't hot enough. So the first little pig threw his drum into the fire. Oh! The second little pig threw his recorder into the fire. Oh! Go ahead, do it. Oh! Oh! It's breaking my heart. They're throwing these musical instruments in the fire. But it still wasn't hot enough. Then the third little pig threw his guitar into the fire. Ah! Now the fire was roaring hot. It's dinner time. Come and get us, they called up the chimney gleefully to the big bad wolf. The wolf heard the three little pigs calling. You're right, it's dinner time. Without a second thought, everybody stand up, jump into the chimney. He slid down the chimney and fell into the fire. What's gonna happen now? You gotta jump up. Ah! Help, help, he cried. My tail is on fire. He raced out of the pig's house and down the road. Everybody, gotta run in place. Oh, maybe blow your tail out. Run, 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 run. He raced out of the pig's house down the road, and that was the last time the three little pigs ever saw the big bad wolf. Yippee! They cried and they hugged each other with joy. The three little pigs knew that the big bad wolf would never bother them again, so they decided to build themselves a big new house to live in together. They built the walls of strong brick. They thatched the roof with soft straw. Then they made comfortable furniture out of smooth wood. They were so happy that they decided to throw a party. They went out shopping to replace the instruments that they had thrown into the fire. The first little pig bought a drum kit. Go ahead, get your drum kits out. Ah. Can you play the drum kit? All right, let's see. The second little pig bought a saxophone. Ooh, can you play your saxophone? It's my saxophone noise. What do you got? It's pretty good. And the third little pig bought an electric guitar. Let's hear your guitar. Ooh. That's nice, y'all. Then they went home and had a very noisy party with all of their friends. But no one else could hear them because their house of bricks and wood and straw was so well built. And what became of the big bad wolf? Well, he didn't stop running away from the three little pigs' house until he came to a river far, far away. Then he plunged his burning tail into the icy water to cool it. He came out shivering and bedraggled and feeling sorry for himself. Oh, what do you feel like when you're cold? Right? You're shivering. You've got to warm up. I'm still feeling hungry, said the wolf, but I'm definitely not in the mood for a bacon sandwich. And that is one version of the Three Little Pigs. Y'all did a great job. Now, before we read the next one, which is the true story of the Three Little Pigs, remember we talked about perspective and how sometimes you might hear one story, but then someone has a different story, and there's sometimes even more than two sides to the story. So we're going to read the perspective of the wolf. But first, let's go ahead and raise our hands to the sky, and then bring them slowly down and touch your toes. And then maybe take one of your arms over your head, cross it in front of your body, and then you're going to take the other arm and you're going to stretch. And then we'll do the other arm. It's going to go up and across. And then this one in front of it. Then maybe both hands to the sky. And we'll go to the side. And then up to the sky. And we'll go to this side. And then take a deep breath. Really big. And then get really small. And then get really big. And then get really small. And shake it off. Okay, now let us read The True Story of the Three Little Pigs. This is by John Scieszka. Scieszka. I don't know how to say it. Just look. I love this book. It's kind of funny. Be warned, it's kind of funny. Everybody knows the true story of the Three Little Pigs. Or at least they think they do. But I'll let you in on a little secret. Nobody knows the real story because nobody has ever heard my side of the story. I'm the wolf. Alexander T. Wolf. You can call me Al, okay? I don't know how this whole big bad wolf thing got started, but it's all wrong. Maybe it's because of our diet. Hey, it's not my fault that wolves eat cute little animals like bunnies and sheep and pigs. That's just the way we are. If cheeseburgers were cute, folks would probably think you were big and bad too. But like I was saying, the whole big bad wolf thing is all wrong. The real story is about a sneeze and a cup of sugar. Okay? This is the real story. Hi, Trace. Way back in Once Upon a Time, I was making a birthday cake for my dear old granny. I had a terrible sneezing cold. I ran out of sugar. So I walked down the street to ask my neighbor for a cup of sugar. Now, this neighbor was a pig. And he wasn't too bright either. I mean, he built his whole house out of straw. Can you believe it? I mean, who in their right mind would build a house out of straw? So, of course, the minute I knocked on the door, it fell right in. And I didn't want to just walk into someone else's house, so I called, little pig, are you in? No answer. I was just about to go home without the cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. It seemed like a shame to leave a perfectly good ham dinner lying there in the straw. Oh, there's a page missing. Oh no. Here's what happens. He was about to just walk away until he felt a terrible sneeze coming on. Achoo! And that sneeze knocked the whole house down. It seemed like a shame to leave a perfectly good ham dinner lying around because the pig was just there. Think of it as a cheeseburger. So I ate it up. I didn't realize there was a page missing, but that's what happened. So he sneezed and the whole house fell down. I was feeling a little better, but I still didn't have my cup of sugar, so I went to the next neighbor's house. The neighbor was the first little pig's brother. He was a little smarter, but not much. He had built his house of sticks. I rang the bell on the stick house. Nobody answered. I called, Mr. Pig, are you in? He yelled back, go away, wolf. You can't come in. I'm shaving the hairs on my chinny chin chin. I had just grabbed the doorknob when I felt another sneeze coming. I huffed, and I stuffed, and I tried to cover my mouth, but I sneezed a great sneeze. Achoo! And you're not going to believe it, but this guy's house fell down just like his brother's. And when the dust cleared, there was the second little pig, dead as a doornail, wolf's honor. Now, you know food will spoil if you let it out in the open, so I did the only thing there was to do and I had dinner again. think of it as a second helping. I was getting awfully full, but my cold was feeling a little better. And I still didn't have that cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. So I went to the next house. Now, this guy was the first and second pig's brother. He must have been the brains of the family because he had built his house out of bricks. I knocked on the door. I knocked on the brick house. No answer. And I called, Mr. Pig, are you in? And do you know what that rude little porker answered? Get out of here, wolf. Don't bother me again. Talk about impolite. He probably had a whole sack full of sugar. And he wouldn't even give me one little cup for my dear old sweet granny's birthday cake? What a pig. I was just about to go home and maybe make a nice birthday card instead of a cake when I felt my cold coming on. I huffed, and I snuffed, and I sneezed, achoo, once again. Then the third little pig yelled, and your old granny can sit on a pin. That is not nice. Now, I'm usually a pretty calm fellow, but when somebody talks about my granny like that, I go a little crazy. When the cops drove up, of course I was trying to break into this pig's door. And the whole time I was huffing and puffing and sneezing and making a real big scene. The rest, as they say, is history. The news reporters found out about the 2 pigs I had for dinner. They figured a sick guy going to borrow a cup of sugar didn't sound like a very exciting story. So they jazzed up the story of all that huff and puff and blow your house down, and they made me the big bad wolf. That's it. The real story. I was framed. But maybe you could loan me a cup of sugar? The end. That is the true story of the 3 little pigs. You can decide who you think told the real story. Was it the pigs or was it the wolf? So, these are all fairy tales. There are lots and lots and lots of fairy tales. Maybe you have a favorite fairy tale. I really love Jack and the Beanstalk. I have that one in here, and maybe there is a story to tell from the giant's perspective. Or, what's another one? Goldilocks and the 3 Bears. I recently actually read another story. It was Goldilocks and the 3 Dinosaurs. So maybe you have an idea of what would make a cool story, but from a different perspective. You can draw a picture about that. You can write about that. You all are lovely, and I am so glad to have gotten to hang out with you today. Thank you for joining me for the 3 Little Pigs and the true story of the 3 Little Pigs. Moms and dads, if you want to subscribe to Miss B's Audio Reads YouTube channel, all of these videos are getting posted on there afterwards, so you can check them out later. And I will keep adding stuff at 1 o'clock this week, so I will be back tomorrow. I think we're going to do something a little different, a little wacky Wednesday. We're going to maybe pretend it's snowing and it's Christmas time. Little wacky Wednesday story for your middle of the week Miss B's audio reads. So thanks for tuning in. Adios. Goodbye. Hasta luego. We'll see you later.